everyone, Node Investor here. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, $1,600 Bitcoin, $100 Ethereum, and what is going on with all of these other altcoins. I'm going to talk about a couple of setups I'm looking at. Let's talk about some news we're seeing and that bad word we're all starting to hear, bubble. Is Bitcoin in a bubble? Are cryptocurrencies in a bubble? I've got some thoughts to share on that. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's look at the news here. Bitcoin, all-time highs, $1,600 today. And what a day. What a ride it's been. This week, I did a video a couple days ago and I said it should be an interesting week. That was an understatement. This has been quite the week. Bitcoin had a very volatile day. If you didn't see the news, if you didn't see the trading today, we had what looked to be like panic selling after a huge run up, $100+ day, and then it peaked and then it came down $100 within an hour. Things got real volatile. That sentiment spread into some of the other coins. LITECOIN, Ethereum dropped a little bit, but Bitcoin's back up, $1,600. Some other news here. LITECOIN added to Coinbase. That's causing a lot of news here. Segwit on LITECOIN. LITECOIN accounts for 22% of total daily cryptocurrency trading. That's incredible. I mentioned that a little bit the other day. LITECOIN had a couple $100 million of daily trading volume. LITECOIN goes parabolic, up 30%, reaches market cap of $1 billion. So some interesting news. These are exciting times, guys. Cryptocurrency is going to be the assets to be in for the intermediate term, is my belief. Going to give you greater returns in stocks, real estate, gold, some of that other stuff. I'm not saying those are bad. Cryptocurrency is not for everyone. It's certainly very volatile, but there is a lot of opportunity in this space. This is the emerging technology that we are just now starting to see come into a little bit of the mainstream. You ask the average person right now, hey, what's Ethereum? What's Dash? What's Zcash? They're going to give you a blank stare. A lot of people have heard of Bitcoin, but beyond that, we're still very early on in this market. So let's take a look at the market today. I'm going to go into some detailed charts here, but just really quick, run through the prices. Bitcoin up 14%, up 4% at 1582. Not the story. I'll get into that. Ethereum, $95. I'm not going to show it on the screen here, but let me pull up Coinbase. Coinbase has Ethereum at $97. It hit almost 100 earlier tonight. Dash at 88. LITECOIN up 18% at 25. Saw a little volatility there today, but LITECOIN, $25. I think I made a video about this 2 days ago, and it was $15. Pretty nice move on LITECOIN. Monero edging up, $27. Ripple, wow. Ripple at 9 cents basically, up 36%. I gotta tell you guys, I issued an alert on Ripple, and I have been very under interested in Ripple, and it has had an incredible move. It's literally gone from 3 cents to 9 cents. Ethereum Classic continues to power ahead, $7.41. Pivx at $1.48. Zcash. I'm really liking Zcash here, guys. Zcash at $100. I'm going to go into the charts there. Factom, $8.25. And Augur, symbol REP, $18.52. I'm also liking Augur here. I don't have NEM on the charts here. NEM is looking really strong here. I've been exchanging some messages on the Twitter today, and I know there's been some comments about NEM. NEM is solid. NEM is looking really good here. Let's go into some charts. Let's talk about the market. So first off, market cap, $45 billion, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, $45 billion. This is amazing. When you think about, we were at 17 billion just in January, and a couple videos ago I was talking about 30 billion, 45 billion dollars. And the crazy part is that's not really that much money compared to other asset classes. $45 billion. I mentioned in a video, $100 billion is probably conservative. It's interesting that Apple, the company, came out with their earnings report, and they have $250 billion in cash. $250 billion. So if Apple wanted to, they could just come in and buy all of the cryptocurrency market cap several times over. So it kind of puts it into perspective. So looking down at the top 5, Bitcoin, $26 billion of that. Ethereum, $9 billion. $100 Ethereum. Amazing. Ripple, $3 billion market cap. Litecoin, $1.3 billion. Here we go, the multi-billion-dollar club. Ethereum Classics, just really surprising everybody. Moving ahead, $700 million. NEM, $700 million. Dash, $700 million. Monero, just shy of $400 million. I'll stop there. Let's look at some charts here. So let's talk news first, right? So we had Bitcoin moving up strong. Bitcoin went up to $1,600 earlier today. We had this huge range, right? It was as high as 1630-ish. Then it dropped all the way down to 1440. I mean, that's a $200 range. Enough to scare most folks, right? Bitcoin went semi-parabolic here. It looked like it was about to crack. Very toppy action. When you see this kind of volume and it's selling off, generally not a good sign. But it's been surprisingly strong. We just really recovered here. I was looking at the price action this afternoon, and when Bitcoin did that, I went over to Coinbase, and lo and behold, Coinbase was down. I took a screenshot of this. I sent it out on the Twitter saying, what? What's going on here? You know, things get volatile. You want to do some trading, some selling, some buying, and Coinbase is down. Come on, Coinbase. So, back to the charts. So Bitcoin, just incredibly strong. Looking parabolic here, but remember what I said, guys. We're at all-time highs. The last 90% of the move comes, or 90% of the move comes the last 10% of the time. And when you talk about, we were at $900 in April, May, $1,500. Just amazing. There's a lot of news driving that. Talk of the ETF being looked at again. If you're not sure what that is, that's exchange traded funds. Ethereum's talking about an ETF. That is just positive all around, because what that means is people will begin to be able to invest in Bitcoin via the stock exchange. And if you can do that, that's just going to open up a floodgate of potential investors wanting to buy Bitcoin. Let's look at some more charts. Ethereum on Bitfinex, dang, $99, basically $100 Ethereum. Coinbase has it at $97. I'm going to zoom in this chart here for you guys. This is the breakout I called here a couple days ago. I made a video about Ethereum breaking out, and unfortunately, that video got like less than 200 views. So I'm hoping some of you guys got in on this. I'm hoping some of you guys saw the Ethereum pop and have been on this ride. But Ethereum went from $52 to basically $100 in about a week and a half. So Ethereum is just moving up incredibly strong. Let's look at some of the exchanges. Bitfinex, we looked at that. Poloniex, basically $99 Ethereum. Litecoin, let's talk Litecoin. Again, Litecoin, we issued an alert on Litecoin. Here we go. Here's the chart. Highlighted it for you guys. Litecoin was building a little bit of a base there. Moving averages were catching up, and that arrow there is basically where I told you guys it was edging out. I had no idea Coinbase was going to add it, but that just added to the fire. So LITECOIN, super strong, moving up, $26, $27 now. Where do I think it could go? Well, I did a video on market cap scenarios. So if we look at LITECOIN, 1.3 billion, 1.5 billion puts LITECOIN at about $29. 2 billion puts LITECOIN at basically $40. So that's where I think we could go. Will it happen this week? Who knows? Probably not. But LITECOIN is looking really strong here. Monero is another one I was talking about. Monero, here we go. We issued that alert there. Monero was edging out. Pull back slightly. Look at where it touched. Right to that moving average. It's just really been respecting these moving averages. Monero pops, hits that moving average. Saw some nice move up, and then this big bar down with volume. That was today on the Bitcoin sentiment, that big sell-off we saw, and just right back up. That's a sign of strength there. There's a lot of buyers showing up when Monero sells off. Basically at $28 now, so Monero's moving up nicely. Ripple, I gotta say, I was watching Ripple down here in these 3 cents. I issued a little bit of an alert. I am grossly underinvested in Ripple. Moving on. Here's another one I'm looking at. So Augur. Augur is somewhat of a newer altcoin. Let's see where it's at on the coin market cap here. Augur's down at the $190 million mark, market cap wise. Number 10 on the list right now. Only trades about $3 million of daily volume. That's not bad, but when when you're used to seeing $1 billion and hundreds of $1 million, doesn't sound like a lot. But Augur is one of the newcomers. Something I'm looking at here. Let me zoom out a little bit on this chart, but look at this trend. I mean, it's just had a nice steady climb. It goes up, pulls back into this trend, goes up, pulls right back in, and really going nice. And then really just kind of in line with some of the sentiment we're seeing in some of the other coins. The trend has expanded to a higher slope here in recent days. So Augur's looking good. They try to sell it off as well. Popped right back up. I'm liking it right here. That's not a buy recommendation. You guys do what you want. I'm looking at Augur. I think it looks pretty strong right now. Here's on the Kraken exchange, same thing. Let's look at Zcash. Zcash is looking pretty nice right here as well. So a little history on Zcash. Zcash came out late last year. And there was very few tokens available, so the prices were just crazy. Like literally thousands of dollars. Then it came down. Then it popped back up to about 107. And then it came all the way down to very, very low numbers. Let me see if I can show you guys here. So you can see we're down basically in the $20 range. But then it starts to settle in a little bit. Put in a little base. And then it's off to the races. And here we are today, and Zcash is kind of putting this base here that I've highlighted. It looks like it's edging out now. We're at 106. The thing to note is this 106, 107 area goes way back to about December when there was some previous sellers right in that area. So this seems to be a little bit of a zone where if we can get above that 107, 110 range, I think you're going to see another leg up on Zcash. So that's on the Poloniex. Here it is on the Bitfinex, basically trading around the same amounts. 108. Zcash looking pretty nice here. If you're not familiar with Zcash, Zcash is one of the, I would say one of the big four in the privacy space, right? Their Monero is one of them, where they kind of, their edge is they tout anonymity, marketing, privacy, anonymous transactions, right? Private ledger, if you will. So Zcash is one of those. There's a couple of others. Pivx is trying to make its name in that space. Dash is kind of in that space. Dash is pretty good too. Let's take a look at Dash actually. Dash. So what I'm looking at here is Dash had a little bit of a pullback. It had this huge run up. Sorry about that, guys. It had this huge run up earlier in the year in the March timeframe. kind of settled in, popped up, pulled back slightly. Look at where it hit, right at that trend line / moving average. I issued in a little bit of an alert there saying, hey, if you like Dash, it's probably looking good here. And it seems to be respecting that trend line. So we'll see what happens with Dash. I think Dash is pretty strong right now. Let's see where it's at on the list here. Dash number 7, $700 million market cap. I did some analysis. I'll probably end up doing an in-depth video on Dash. I did some analysis on different scenarios where Dash could go. Basically, if Dash hits $1.5 billion market cap, so 1.5 billion, you're going to see $140 Dash. So that's if we hit to 1.4 billion. I mean, it's a small club right now, but it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. So Dash is looking pretty good right now. All around, markets are super strong. There's been talk about, are we in a bubble? There's a lot of news. You know, when I start seeing a lot of these stories coming out, in the last 3 or 4 days, I've seen, oh, Bitcoin is now going to 2,000. Bitcoin, 1,500. That's not cool. 5,000 Bitcoin's cool. Where were all these guys 4 months ago when Bitcoin was $900, right? They were all trashing it. Now they're talking about how it's going to hit 5,000. So I generally don't like to see that. It's just a little bit of sentiment, getting a little bit overzealous, a little bit of froth in the markets. But a couple scenarios, right? So if Bitcoin decides to correct or some profit taking, two things. The altcoins could all follow suit and sell it down a little bit. But what we've seen in the past is funds come out of Bitcoin and move into other coins. So it's not unusual to see Bitcoin sell off and Ethereum pop, and possibly now LITECOIN or Ripple pop on the funds coming out of Bitcoin. So doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to move down in tandem. So, just stay with it. I think long-term cryptocurrencies are going to mature and really be a much bigger market than they are today. I've talked about it in the past. $100 billion is not out of the realm of possibility, and that's probably being conservative. Now, at that point, will Bitcoin have 60% of the market cap when we're at 100 billion? Who knows? My personal belief, I really doubt it. I think Bitcoin's share of the total market cap will continue to come down. I don't think the price will come down. I think Bitcoin will continue to go up. But as more and more of these coins come out with different business models and different purposes and platforms, they're just going to kind of share some of the total market cap, which means some of those other ones will enter the billion-dollar club. So are we in a bubble? Who knows? I think we're probably due for a correction. I think bubble's probably too strong of a term, though. I think cryptocurrency is a good market all around. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity going forward. And this year is a good year for cryptocurrency, kind of taking the space as a whole to the next level. It's good to see some of this attention. Before, cryptocurrency just used to be kind of known as the dark web and, what hackers and people who wanted to buy drugs online would use. And now it's kind of matured a little bit, and it's really, bankers are looking at it, governments are looking at it, blockchain technology is finally being accepted as a good thing. And I think cryptocurrency is now making its place in the as a really mature asset class. So I think we've got a long ways to go. Those are my thoughts. What happens between now and the next year, I think it's going to be a bumpy ride. But I think there's going to be opportunities along the way. So stay tuned. I'm going to do my best to educate, inform, keep you guys posted. Until then, take care, guys.